So a good Lenten practice would be to take the scriptures, that would be the first instance, or a particular kind of spiritual reading that would lend itself to this, and not reading for information or not reading to finish a book, but to read intensively in such a way to mull over, to appropriate the language of scriptures to take into the heart. Now, there's a traditional way of doing this kind of reading, and it's categorized in steps. First step is reading itself. And this reading can also doesn't involve looking at a book. It could be listening to something. That is, it might be listening to the words of the liturgy at Mass. But reading, that's the first step. And the second step, which is called meditation, these are all the Latin term meditatio, which would be to mull over these words. The third step is prayer. That is to respond to them in our own words. And the fourth step is to remain silent before the presence of God. This is called contemplatio, contemplation. It's a big, scary word to people, but it simply means being quiet and being gazing. So reading, mulling over, meditation, responding in prayer, and finally simply being quiet in the presence of God. The worst thing that would be, I am going to read a chapter from John's Gospel every day during Lent. The correct way is to say, I'm going to pick up John's Gospel, I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to stop where the text leads me. If you do that, you're already meditating. You're already developing a kind of a contemplative attitude, and you're enriching a vocabulary. And that's the same with any great book, whether it's the Confessions of St. Augustine or Thérèse of Lisieux's The Story of a Soul. The idea is not to get through the book. That's the book of the month approach, but to take time and to read slowly. When you read that way, you're already praying.